Hey everybody, welcome to Divine Conversations. I'm Eric. It's very nice to see you. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's nice to meet you. So, the energies are really intense. That's not going to change for a while, but the energies are pretty intense. And so, as we roll through it, things change. And there is a major shift that's happening with the Divine Feminine. I know personally I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it pretty heavily. And because I'm feeling it so heavily, I'm being called to come out here and pull some readings for it and talk to you guys about it, because I'm not the only one feeling it. We're all connected. We're all going through this together. I know some individuals within the Divine Feminine Collective, just like some individuals within the Divine Masculine Collective, feel different things at different times, are feeling this differently, are feeling different things in general within their own circle. So I don't believe that, what I'm going through is what all Divine Feminines are going through right now. Maybe they may have gone through it at one point, but not all Divine Feminines are in the position necessarily that I may be in. So I am coming out here talking to those of you that are feeling the things that I'm feeling. Those of you that are riding the same wave I'm feeling. I'm being called to speak to talk about it because we need help, we need guidance, and trust me, I get it, because I feel like, if I weren't as connected as I feel I am, if I couldn't read the cards the way I do, I would be looking for someone to help me, because this is some really intense shit. The energy I've been feeling is like a stark contrast. And this is all from this last full moon. Guys, we're still dealing with this full moon, but at one point I was feeling like I was ready to walk away. And I was ready to find a soulmate relationship, something else, right? But as we've moved away, and I said this in the weekly videos, but as we've moved away, that's changed. I've started to realize that the full moon was in fact a big trigger, but it wasn't a trigger meant to get me to move away from this relationship. It was a trigger to help me find a deeper understanding of my fears, number one. Number two, how I interact in relationships. For most of the Divine Feminine Collective that are resonating with this right now, this last full moon has really highlighted imbalance in relationships. It was in Cancer. I've said that all the time. I've said that this whole time. It was in Cancer, which was highlighting our relationships. So many of us Divine Feminine that are riding this wave right now got that message of just how imbalanced we were in relationships. And it's not like we haven't heard that before. We have heard that before, but when we dealt with it before, it was from the point of view of, oh, well, they just weren't doing enough. But this time, we finally got the message of how actually we were the ones that are technically responsible for how people treat us in our lives. And why is that? Because we allow those people to stay in our lives. When they treat us some way that we find undesirable, we stick around. We're like, oh, well, maybe they'll come around, or, oh, it wasn't that bad, or, oh, they're basically making excuses for them and making excuses for ourselves and keeping them around. And then they continue to abuse us, basically, right? But now with this last full moon, we were shown just how much we allowed that. And because we allowed that, we were responsible for that happening in our lives. Okay, so yes, a lot of us had to step away from our twins in that situation because they were treating us in a way that we felt undesirable. We felt we did not like. It is not a way we wanted to be treated. So we had to step away from that. But that didn't mean that we had to completely cut ourselves off from the connection. Okay, and that's something that I'm starting to realize moving forward, because my whole perspective is shifting. All right, so in that perspective shifting, I'm being faced now. I mean, okay, so I was faced with that perspective, and I understand how that is affecting me adversely. Hold on a moment. I was being shown that just how much that aspect was blocking my situation with my twin, was blocking union. And for many of us, that was blocking union. That, in a sense, allowing someone to treat you in a way that is undesirable, but continuing to go back to them on some level is a codependent behavior. And that was a big highlight for us months ago when we were really being faced with the reality of how both divine feminine and divine masculine was acting in codependent ways, and that is not a way that we can be with our divine partner. We need to be whole within ourselves, right? So for the divine feminine, this last full moon highlighted this deeply seated expression of codependency in allowing people to treat us in a way that we felt we didn't deserve. A way that was less than what we desired. And the biggest test of that was accepting how our twin was doing that to us, right? And man, if that wasn't a trigger, I don't know what is. Okay? So this is an example of how the universe is now starting to trigger us. And the reason why the universe is triggering us very much on purpose is so that we can face these fears and release them. Okay, so now, all right, cool, I'm moving out of that one, but I was just dropped right back into another. Like, something that was one of my biggest fears, hugest fears, showed up in my life. And until it showed up, I didn't realize it was that much of a fear. Like, at some point, I had thought about it, and I was like, oh yeah, that would suck if X, Y, and Z happened. But it wasn't until X, Y, and Z happened that I realized just how afraid of it I am. And I realized just how much of that of a blockage that is to union for me. Anything that you fear, especially relationship-wise, well, for the most part, relationship-wise, but anything that you fear is going to block union. And so now the universe is taking the role of confronting us or putting those, triggering us so that we can confront these fears, because we need to release them. We need to let them go. Because fears are just illusions. They're illusions, guys. I'm sorry, I keep rubbing my nose because, oh God, my nose is all itchy. All kinds of kinetic energy. But anyway, our fears are illusions, and our fears block what we desire, the manifestations of what we desire. Okay? So if you desire to be in union with your twin, then your belief of it needs to, I also heard another reader say this, excuse me, but your belief needs to match your desire. And so if you're focusing on fears surrounding this desire, then you're blocking the manifestation of the desire, right? So now the universe is taking the role of putting those up front in our face so that we can clear them away. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm checking my timer. I am doing laundry again. So I have 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to finish this intro and then I'm going to pull the reading. So what I want to do right now is I want to do a reading. I'm being called to, actually. It is the end of my day. It's the end of my day again, kids. So I invite you to have a glass of wine with me. Yay. Because we are going to have a conversation. And this conversation is for the divine feminine. I want to talk about these fears. I want to talk about moving through these fears, what we can do to effectively move through these fears, what we can do to really help identify these fears. Like I want to look into this energy for us. And I think I also want to look at how that's affecting the divine masculine, how that's affecting our counterpart. I don't know, I'm not sure yet if I want to do how it's affecting union more specifically, or if it's how it's affecting our counterparts. And I just heard our counterparts. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to... For the divine feminine, I'm going to talk about the fears and how we can move through it and how we can effectively release them. And for the divine masculine, I want to talk about how this is affecting the divine masculine, how the divine feminine's moving through this energy is affecting the divine masculine. All right? So, we're going to do that. Oh, and in order to do that, I am going to use the traditional tarot deck. So I will be using the Oracle, no, I'm sorry, the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti. I will also be pulling some Oracle cards, Oracle guidance from the Unicorn Oracle deck, from the Fairy Forest, or Fairies of the Forest. I'm sorry, I'm not quite, hold on. That is, what? The Fairy Forest. I'm having trouble keeping that straight. It's the Fairy Forest Oracle deck. That's this one. And then finally, I'm going to be pulling... So actually, Greater Definition is coming in. The Unicorn deck is going to be for the Divine Masculine. Oracle guidance for the Divine Masculine. The Fairy Forest deck is going to be Oracle guidance for the Divine Feminine. And then finally, overall Oracle guidance for both Masculine and Feminine is going to come from the Oracle of... No, geez. This is going to come from the Crystal Mandala deck. For some reason, I keep trying to say the Oracle of Visions deck, but I think it's because I use that one a lot, so I'm just so used to saying it. The Oracle of Visions deck is also calling to be a part of this reading, so we're going to figure out how. So I think, yeah, the Oracle of Visions is going to be overall guidance for both of the twins, okay? Just like the Crystal Mandala deck, but I'm going to do actually the Oracle of Visions first. I might even pull some clarifiers for that one. So prepare yourself, guys. This might be a long reading. But again, it's a conversation, so if we got to talk about it, we got to talk about it. Let's talk about it, yeah? All right. So, there's that, and I'm going to get started here right now. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. So, we're starting with the Gilded Tarot. All right, this is the initial question. We're going to start with the Divine Feminine. And then I'm going to do a row of 4 columns and another row of 4 columns. Top row is Divine Feminine, all right? Bottom row is Divine Masculine. How the Divine Feminine situation is affecting or relating to the Divine Masculine, okay? Divine Feminine. I want to talk about these spheres we're moving through. I want to know... I'm asking... Okay, Spirit, talk to us. Talk to us, communicate with us about these spheres we're moving through, about how we can effectively move through these spheres, what these spheres are symbolizing, where these spheres are coming from. What information can you give us about this moment of a surgence of fearful energy for the Divine Feminine? And then also, please talk to us about how that's affecting the Divine Masculine. I mean, when it comes to the Divine Masculine, I just want to leave it right there. How is what the Divine Feminine is going through with, being faced with all these deep fears and our darkest fears, how is that affecting our counterpart? How is that affecting the Divine Masculine? Please talk to us about that. Okay. One more shuffle, and then I will cut the deck. 4 columns. All right. Okay. Here we have it. The overall energy here. The overall energy is the 9 of Cups. And the reason that's coming up is because all of this is facilitating wish fulfillment, okay? Yeah, the 9 of Cups with strength, all right? Divine Feminine, understand that even though you're in this moment right now, you just need to be strong. You need to have strength. You need to really draw on your feminine power. You need to really draw on your feminine strength, because this rough period that you're going through right now is wish fulfillment, all right? Wow. I just thought of something. I'm going to use 2 tarot decks. All right. I know I put the intention out there, but that half of that intention can be transferable. So we've got this deck. We've got this deck here shuffled for the Divine Feminine. I'm going to shuffle the deck that I had actually on standby, which is just a traditional Rider-Waite deck. I had this deck on standby in case I needed some extra clarifiers, but now I'm going to shuffle this deck. And the intention for this deck is going to be to give us the answers that we were seeking for the Divine Masculine. And we already have 2 of them right here. That literally just flew out of the deck as I was shuffling. So, I'm being told... okay, I'm going to read those now. Or as part of there is so much conflicting energy happening right now, you guys, around these 2 cards. I'm gonna read them now. There is a message coming through already for the Divine Feminine about the Divine Masculine, and I believe it has to do with the 9 of Cups and the Strength card here. And it's the 7 of Pentacles and the 7 and the 7 of Cups. All right, so. Okay, already this deck here is connected with the Divine Masculine in this moment. Okay, and this deck is talking about how this energy that the Divine Feminine is going through at this moment around, the fears that are coming up and all that. It's causing us to reflect in a very, very deep manner. And number 1, it's causing us to reflect about what actually emotionally fulfills us with the 7 of Cups. So an example of that would be the initial energy of the full moon that we dealt with in realizing that we were allowing people to treat us in a way that we did not find desirable, right? So in a way, that we are being called to not only to question that, but to question everything else around us. What is going to actually fulfill us? And then also, coupled with that, we have the 7 of Pentacles. 2 7s here, okay? So there's a lot of deep soul searching that's happening surrounding our relationship with others. And this is coming up with the Divine Masculine, from the Divine Masculine side, because we have this relationship with someone that on a 3D level is other than us, right? Because physically in the 3D realm, which is just a big old illusion, we are 2 separate entities. But really, in spiritual truth, we are one. We are whole. But anyway, the 7 of Pentacles is saying that now that we're questioning what's happening with our emotional fulfillment here, we're questioning what's going on with our physical life, our physical representation, the relationships we have with people, the relationships we have in jobs, all of this stuff. We're really, really getting down to the really deep nitty-gritty of things, right? And this is also coming up from the Divine Masculine, because as the Divine Feminine deals with these things, as the Divine Feminine identifies these things and puts these intentions to receive these certain things and these desires and whatnot out into the universe, it influences our counterpart to evolve, to shift, to change, right? We are mirrors of each other. We are one in the same, okay? So what we project, we get back, and we'll get it back the most from our twin, right? I hope that makes sense. All right. Okay, great. So that was that message right there. I'm going to put these back into the deck, and I'm going to continue shuffling with intentions to bring the answers from the Divine Masculine that we were looking for in the first deck, right? So what I'm asking for in the Divine Masculine is what this moment of fearful energy that we're being faced with as Divine Feminines, how is that affecting the Divine Masculine, all right? Okay. So this deck is going to be all about the Divine Masculine, all right? Okay. We're going to shuffle this. We're going to do it one more time. That's set. That's for the divine masculine. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So we're going to continue with the divine feminine. Divine feminine, you need to understand that this moment that you're going through, this fearful energy that you're being faced with, the fears that you're being faced with that is causing you to drum up this fearful energy, the shift that you're going through in your perspective, the analysis of how imbalanced your relationships have been and what you can do to improve that and to better that, is all facilitating wish fulfillment. All right. And you need to draw on your spiritual strength. Okay. You need to draw on that willpower to tame the beast in a way, right? To effectively move through this and get what you've been looking for this whole time. The reason why this is happening is so that you can clear these fears away, not to torture you, so that you can clear these fears away. All right. So you got to get through this. You have to get through this. And you will get through this. Okay? Come on. You'll get through it. Okay. Here we go. Ready? First card, we have the Page of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Okay. So now this is, wait. I don't know. I'm sorry. Please excuse these long pauses. I'm getting in tune here. So we're talking about now what this is. What is this fearful energy that's coming through? Okay. And how are we... Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands and the Seven of Cups. And I really feel like the Divine Feminine is showing up as the Page of Wands here. All right? The Divine Feminine has this passion. They've had this passion for a long time, but it's kind of been stuck at the page level. At certain points, it was at the Knight of Wands position, but when we embodied as Divine Feminines, when we embodied the Knight of Wands energy, things just crashed and burned. You know, we were too hasty. We were impatient, right? We kept getting knocked back, knocked down, rejected. No. But that happened for many different reasons. We were acting out of codependency. We were imbalanced. We were, things just weren't ready. Things were not at the level physically that we were feeling emotionally or energetically. So it just stopped, but we kept going back and forth about this, and then finally we reached a moment where we really learned. Right? So now some of us are finding ourselves in the position of wanting to approach this situation again. And that's why we're showing up as the Page of Wands, because we're still really passionate about this. Okay? But we're in my situation, at least personally for me, I'm finally approaching this from a position of taking it slow, which is what my guidance team had been saying to me from the very beginning. But I had no idea what that meant. Like, I couldn't even comprehend the fact that they were telling me to take it slow, because all of the energy I was feeling was the Knight of Wands and, honestly, the Knight of Swords. But that was more, the Knight of Swords was more because of my karmic situation that I was in the process of moving out of. The Knight of Wands was the actual desires and feeling that I was feeling towards my twin, but at the time I didn't know he was my twin. I had no idea about this whole twin flame situation. So my guidance team was telling me, take it slow, Eric, take it slow. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. How can I take it slow when all of this energy that I'm feeling is so crazy, like so wild? I'm literally on fire right now. But so a lot of us, Divine Feminines, went through that situation, and we entered into the runner-chaser phase. And then we got knocked off that situation. And now we find ourselves finally in a period where we're like really ready to literally walk away from this and find a different relationship that would give us the things that we want. But some of us are now being pulled back. And some of us, like me included, the passions are being reignited. because it's not really what we thought. And that's what the Seven of Cups is also saying. There was a lot of illusion around that this last time period that we moved through. And the illusion was merely just being faced with a lot of things that we're afraid of, and a lot of things that are a lot of ways that we have been imbalanced still and codependent still, even though we thought we had moved through that. We were still acting in codependent ways, right? So this was like the last illumination of the rest of the muck down at the bottom of the pond, we'll say. So now we're reapproaching this situation, but we're choosing to approach it from a Page of Wands position, all right? Because we have been enlightened to the fact that if the situation is not balanced in the moment, it's not going to be balanced until we take the stand of creating that balance. We can no longer allow people to take advantage of us. We can no longer allow people to just take and take and take while we give and give and give and never give anything back. That is not a healthy relationship. It's not. Also, some of us divine feminines are actively, I want to say, playing the field. But when I say it that way, I don't mean it in a malicious way or a selfish way. You're playing the field. You're weighing your options. You know you have this passion, but you're not quite sure where it's going to be fulfilled. So you're opening your mind to this. You're opening your mind. Some of you are opening your mind to the possibility of someone other than your twin fulfilling these desires and this passion that you're holding on to, that you know you want. Okay, when I say you're holding on to it, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean you're holding on to it because you know this is what you want, and this is what is going to fulfill you. So you're holding on to it, and you're opening your mind to it. And also, some of us, like myself included, are opening our minds more towards our twin. We're accumulating or embodying greater compassion for our twin. We're opening our minds to seeing the different things that are going on in their lives that are creating the reality that we are facing. And also the different things that are going on in our lives that we are creating, the reality that we're facing. We're looking at things like, oh, okay, now I see all the different aspects that I hold that are creating these blockages. And you're still approaching the situation, but you're choosing to approach it from a Page of Wands situation. You're not going to go into it straight up with the Knight of Wands because you know that the relationship is not on that level yet. The relationship is very much on a page level right now. Physically. And I mean that on a physical sense. Not in energetically or like in the 5D, this is like, we are already together, we're already married, we know the deal that's going on. But on a 3-dimensional level, we're still at the page, guys. And Divine Feminines, you're starting to accept that. And approach it from that level. Alright, moving forward. Next, we have the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. Yeah. Now, we're talking about fears here, right? So, we've got the 8 of Cups here. We are seeing what is not fulfilling us. We're seeing what is creating the blockages for us. What is keeping us from getting that which would fulfill us. And we're saying we're done with it. With the 10 of Swords. I mean, this literally could not be any more of a perfect message. With the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. Because the 10 of Swords is symbolizing the mental things, or the 10 of Swords is symbolizing the mental fears that we have. The fears that we have. Because literally, the fears are literally all up in our head. Let me say literally one more time. Literally. All in our head. It's all mentally based. It's not based in reality. It's just in our heads. And we're done with it. We have reached a moment where we are looking at it now. We're facing it now. We're choosing to be done with it now. And we're walking away from this. Because these things are keeping us from achieving our fulfillment. They are literally blocking the fulfillment that we need. And that is all that fears do. They block your fulfillment. All right? Moving forward, we've got the Nine of Swords and Judgment. Now, a lot of us are up in our heads in the moment with Nine of Swords. But Judgment is reassuring us. Judgment is saying, look, guys, just don't worry about it. Stop worrying about it. Ascension is happening. Where did I put my clear quartz? Ascension is happening. Stop worrying. Oh no, where'd my crystal go, guys? I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. Found it. The Nine of Swords and Judgment. There's no reason to be up in your heads about this. There really is no reason. And they're saying that, yeah, and the Nine of Swords is actually symbolizing the fears that are being illuminated. You know, being kept up at night and blah, blah, blah. But this is also another part of another piece of confirmation. Just like here, when the Nine of Cups, the nine of Cups and Strength is saying, you know, this is all facilitating wish fulfillment. You just need to be strong in this moment. We have another piece of confirmation in the Nine of Cups. Wow, wow, look at that. The Nine of Cups and the Nine of Swords. But with Judgment, this is saying, look, just be strong, because this is facilitating ascension. All right? All these fears that you're experiencing are facilitating ascension. Okay? They're facilitating you getting what you want, Divine Feminine. I mean, if you haven't watched my weekly video for the 11th through to the 18th, I believe it was, or maybe it was the 12th. It was the 12th to the 18th. That one is titled, for the Divine Feminines, Getting What You Want. And to be quite honest, being faced with all of this shit that's still all murky and hanging around in there for us, Divine Feminine, having an opportunity to face it so we can release it is absolutely facilitating us getting what we want. All right? The universe is always on our side. And if the universe puts something in your face, it's because it's necessary. You got to deal with it. Yes. Moving forward, we've got, look at that, victory. The Six of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. A victory and a brand new material beginning. Because once you clear away these fears, once you clear away all of this negativity, this crap, all of this stuff that's blocking you from reaching your twin again, once you clear all of this away, y'all have a brand new starting point. A brand new physical space to build from. And I just think that is so damn beautiful. I mean, hallelujah, can I get an amens? I'll drink to that. Thank you. All right, moving on. We've got the Divine Feminine. We've got the Divine Masculine. We've got how all of this is affecting the Divine Masculine. Lord have mercy on my soul. All right. We've got 3 cards as the underlying energy. First, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Tower. And the World. So, what does this mean? This means that all of this work that the Divine Feminine is now doing in order to release these fears, obviously the Divine Masculine is going to feel it. Okay, we're twins, we're counterparts, we are one and the same. So we mirror each other. We feel what the other is going through, okay? We are affected by what our counterpart is going through. So that means that on some level, this is absolutely affecting the divine masculine. And it's affecting him because what I'm seeing, the story that I'm seeing in this right now is that the divine feminine, in standing on her own, and I'm pointing to the Nine of Pentacles here, the divine feminine, in standing on her own and accepting herself in her own glory, in her own beauty, and choosing herself over others at this moment, is creating a tower moment for the divine masculine. Okay? There is a flash of illumination that's happening. There are some mindsets, some cycles, some habits, some behavioral patterns that are being destroyed. Because the divine masculine is now seeing that those behavioral patterns are what's causing them to lose exactly what they want the most in life. And because of that, major cycles, major endings are happening. Major cycles are coming to an end. Major cycles, major, huge, lifelong, identifying cycles, if that makes sense, are coming to an end, are coming to a close. Because the divine masculine knows that the divine feminine is actually what they want. Embodies everything that they want. Literally embodies everything that they want in life, in a partner, in a family, in a mate. So divine feminine, don't feel too bad. Don't get like all cocky with it, but like you're influencing a serious moment for the divine masculine right now, and that's a great thing. But understand that the only way you're going to continue to influence that for the divine masculine is if you continue to do your work for yourself. All right? Okay, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm doing these readings upside down from my point of view right now, so I'm trying to figure out how to do this right. So what I want to do, for those of you that are actually looking at the video and not just listening, I'm going to move these cards around. I want this to go from left to right, okay? And I feel like this is how we're going to do it here. Left to right. Yes? And now watch. I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to watch this later. And I was like, damn it, Eric, I should have left it the way it was. But you know what? This looks right now. So I'm going to go do it this way. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Moving forward, how is this moment that the divine feminine is going through affecting the divine masculine? Oh, wow. We've got the Lovers. And we've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the Lovers, first and foremost, is talking about the choice that the divine feminine is now facing. And if you're watching, if you're not just listening, if you're looking at this video, I just covered the divine feminine in the Lovers card with the next card in as the clarifier. And I did that on purpose, or it happened for a reason. Because the focus right now is the divine masculine. Not necessarily just the divine masculine, but also either a karmic partner or a potential soulmate. But then, deeper rooted, this is the focus of vice. And I don't want that to be necessarily associated with masculine energy or the divine masculine. But this card also talks about vice or virtue, the choice between vice or virtue. And it just so happens that vice is depicted as the divine, as a masculine energy with a burning bush behind him. But anyway, this is talking about the choice between vice or virtue. And vice being giving in to people that neglect, that use, that abuse. Allowing those people to stay in our lives. Virtue being choosing our own happiness and our own fulfillment over situations like that. And this absolutely goes for the divine masculine too, because a lot of the devil energy that the divine masculine has been dealing with was dealing with people that abuse them in ways, dealing with codependent relationships. So now this is affecting the divine masculine in a way that the choice the divine feminine is having to make is causing the divine masculine to do a lot of inner work. Because now they're really starting to feel the energy of, oh shit, I'm about to lose her. Her being the divine feminine. So now they're like, oh damn, I gotta do something. But the Lovers is telling me that this is ultimately a good thing because it's a spiritual thing. Like they're actually starting to do their own spiritual work here on a greater level, not just doing just enough to get by. No, they're really starting to go hard at it. That is a good thing. But maybe this is just the pessimist in me, but I question, yeah, that's a good thing, but is it too little too late? I guess that's yet to be seen. Moving on. We've got, the Queen of Cups and the Emperor. The Emperor is embracing the Queen of Cups. And that's happening on a few different levels. First of all, we have the Emperor depicting the divine masculine and seeing the Queen of Cups in the divine feminine. Finally seeing the divine feminine for who she really is in a physical sense, on the physical level. All right? The nurturing and loving and incredibly intuitive and psychic being that the divine feminine is on a physical level. Okay, he's accepting that. He's coming to terms with it. He's starting to realize that, oh shit, he or she really did know what was going on. But what this is also saying is that the divine masculine is now starting to accept his emotional and nurturing and loving and intuitive and psychic side. He's integrating that now. That's something that's been needed for a long time. And the divine feminine pulling away from the divine masculine in some cases is helping facilitate that. I feel like on a lot of levels, when the divine feminine pulled away from the divine masculine, they lost a lot of the emotional fulfillment that they were getting. And they were forced to remember or be nostalgic of it because they wanted it back. Even though when they had it at the moment, they didn't appreciate it, they didn't value it, they weren't feeling too grateful for it. But once it was gone, then they were like, oh damn, I missed that. So they became nostalgic of it, and then that opened a door for spirit to step in and start working on their intuition, because they were being nostalgic about it, and that was activating those faculties, those intuitive faculties. And so then more and more started opening up for them until they started realizing that they were now getting real-time messages. And they were getting those real-time messages. Why? Because they have an intuition too. Oh shit! Tower moment. Yeah. Yeah. Moving forward, we've got, oh, look at that. The 10 of Cups with the 5 of Cups. So yeah, I mean, divine feminine, you walking away from him energetically, or them, I'm sorry. You walking away from the divine masculine energetically caused them to realize that they were actively losing that very thing that was going to give them the 10 of Cups that they were looking for all along. Again, tower moment. They were actively losing what they were looking for the whole time. So now the plan is, now the focus is, well, how do I get this back? And the blessing here is that you still have 2 cups. There are still 2 cups left. All right? There are still 2 cups left. And I'm going to tell you right now, those 3 cups that spilled, that was all the shit that you didn't want involved in the relationship to begin with anyway. Good. Get that out of there. And take your 2 cups that still stand and rebuild. All right? The 2 of Cups is still very much alive. No matter what the Divine Feminine may be saying right now, how he or she may be acting, those 2 cups are still there. All right? And if your Divine Feminine is still acting from a place of egoic fear and lashing out at you and spewing negativity or whatnot, I mean, I know what that feels like. I've been there. But if they're still doing that, please understand that they're still dealing with their own energies surrounding this situation. And it would be incredibly helpful if you, as the Divine Masculine, could project loving, compassionate, and healing energy towards the Divine Feminine. Because the only reason she or he is acting like this is because, or acting like that, is because they're in pain, okay? And it's very real pain. Very real. Right? Finally, from the Tarot, we have the Hanged Man and the Queen of Pentacles. Absolutely. So, you, Divine Masculine, are embodying a Hanged Man energy right now. And because the Queen of Pentacles, or your Divine Feminine, is really illuminating a lot of stuff, illuminating or putting you on to a lot of stuff, handing you a tower moment energetically just by what she or he is going through. And because of that, you're adopting a Hanged Man moment in that you're taking a rest, number 1. You're taking a step back, number 2, and you're observing. You're looking at things and trying to get a different perspective. You're trying to understand. Now you're at the point where you're like, okay, I really want to try and understand this person now. What makes them tick? Why are they acting like this? Why have they been acting like this? Why has this situation gone so wrong? Why am I standing here in a period or in a position right now where I feel like this person absolutely hates my guts? What the fuck did I do? What the fuck did they do to help create this? How do I get back to her? Divine Feminine, you going through this energy and dealing with your own shit and handling your own shit is helping the Divine Masculine see things much clearer. Okay? Just understand. Know that. Take that with you moving forward. Okay. So, now, we're going to get to the Oracle cards. I'm going to start with the Fairy Forest Oracle deck. And I'm going to pull some Oracle guidance for the Divine Feminine. Yeah. I'm just asking Spirit for the best messages right now. For the Divine Feminine. Oh, sorry. I want to do this. I want to shuffle this so you guys can see it. For the Divine Feminine, just the best messages right now. Moving through these fearful energies. Moving through this shift. This shift in perspective, this shift in understanding, this shift in how to even approach this relationship, this twin flame dynamic. How do we just, the best messages, please. For the Divine Feminine. In moving through all of this. Yeah? Okay. I'm just going to let these fall out here. Best messages for the Divine Feminine, please. There we go. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Okay, we've got Ragnarok. And this has come up for the Divine Feminine before. And also, keep in mind that this is card number 11. Look at that. All right? Ragnarok. Destruction. Endings. Final moment. This is very much a phoenix rising from the ashes situation to me. This is the Divine Feminine. You're finally putting to rest these things that are holding you back from getting what you want. I mean, I'm seeing the Ten of Swords in this energy here. Absolutely. Final moment. Ending. Destruction. Destroying all of those things that stand in your way. You could even say that this is the Divine Feminine in the twin flame situation. I mean, she's literally on fire. She is a fire entity, yeah? Twin flame, look at that. You standing in your Divine Feminine power and burning away all this shit that is standing in your way and keeping you from getting what you want. Right? And then we also have the Queen of the Darkwood Elves. Now, this one I'm not so familiar with. So I am going to pull from the book just to get the understanding of the card. And then I'll be able to tell you more. But for number 40 here... Oh, yes. Okay, sometimes there is a stirring, a shimmering moment, a subtle but unmistakable in the web called wired, whatever, that connects us all. This is one such time. The Queen of the Darkwood Elves has come forth to speak with you and ask you to be aware that something is approaching. When she appears, there is a kind of foreboding and unsettling energy, akin to when a storm is gathering its power. There is a very potent force readying itself in your life, and while its impact is yet to be truly felt and experienced, it is best to ready yourself now. So when this card comes, make good your defenses. Tend to injuries and wounds, be they psychic, mental, or physical. Take care of unfinished business and bring in whatever you can. Gather up resources and be ready for when the moment strikes and descends upon you. Because something that was unexpected could have harmed you, but could have taken you unaware. Because something that was unexpected could have harmed you, could have taken you unaware, but you are forewarned, and truth be told, you are now forearmed. There is no cause to be scared, frightened, or anxious. This card indicates that you have time to prepare, grow stronger, and meet whatever it is that is coming. Face on. You will move through the time you are now warned of, and you will be stronger due to the challenge. But make no mistake, there is a challenge coming, and you can now prepare and minimize its impact and ride out the intense wave of energy it brings into your life. So, this is talking about what Ragnarok is referring to, okay? But this is saying to you that now you know. I mean, it's saying, what I'm getting from this card, Queen of the Darkwood Elves, is saying now this reading is forearming you. All right, moving forward. You are now aware of what's happening around you. You are now aware of what's blocking you. This moment of dealing or being faced with these fearful energies is now forearming you for the future. Because you can now work towards, you can burn away, you can destroy all of this stuff that is blocking union, that is standing in the way of you getting what it is you want. Right? I mean... Fuck yeah! Okay, so now we're going to take some Oracle guidance in how the Divine Feminine can approach or can work with Divine Masculine in this time, okay? So we have what this situation is, what the Divine Feminine is going through in this situation is affecting the Divine Masculine how it's influencing the Divine Masculine. But now we're going to get some oracle guidance on how the Divine Feminine can approach this situation with the Divine Masculine. How can the Divine Feminine be of service, of greater service to this situation with the Divine Masculine? Okay? Yes. Yes. Ooh, Lord, honey. I can't shuffle at the moment. Okay. Let's just get best messages. Best messages from the Divine Masculine point of view here. How can the Divine Feminine be of greater service in this situation? Or at least any other messages about this can be conveyed. Woo, that's too many. Best messages for, okay, here we go. Patience. There's one more. There's one more. There it is. Patience and adventure. Wow. All right. Now, also, I'm also looking at, look at these cards. They're very similar. I mean, I guess you can't see it as much, but in the color scheme, they're very similar. They're dark and glowy and, you know, mysterious. Yeah? The first card we got is patience. Pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play whilst you wait. This is also a message for the divine the divine masculine. Because some of you divine masculine are finding yourselves in this energy, right? And you're feeling kind of rushed. I got that. Pisces Moon 1111 mentioned that in one of her readings recently, and that resonated really well with me. Some of you feel like you're being rushed. But understand that you're not being rushed. Understand that divine timing is at work. Is that what that said here? Trust that the divine timing is at work. Yes. Pause before you take action. You don't have to rush. All right? You don't have to rush. And for the divine feminine, you don't have to rush either in moving through this energy. Because I know personally, I felt like shit. I've got to get through this energy as soon as possible because I'm blocking things. I'm destroying things. No, it's not like that. Okay? You're in this moment, doing the work at this time, and you're moving through it within divine timing. Everything is within divine timing. So we all need to be patient with ourselves, okay? Finally, we have adventure. Dare to do things differently. That message stuck out like a fucking sore thumb, divine and feminine, all right? Dare to do things differently. Okay? I mean, that's exactly what this whole energy has been about for us. This is the adventure card. Dare to do things differently is the very first thing that it says on there. I mean, we're illuminating. We have been shown how we've been in this cycle of imbalance. Dare to do things differently. Manifest your travel dreams. Move to a new location. And that new location is a new mental location. Okay? A new mental space, a new mental understanding, a new way of approaching your situation, divine feminine. If you don't do things differently, if you don't show your divine masculine something different, if you don't say to them, I am no longer going to accept this, so you're either going to figure out how you can fit into that, or we're going our separate ways. If you don't present them with that frame of, that stance, that frame of mind, that opinion, then they're just going to keep doing things the way they have been. Unfortunately. Because there's no catalyst that's causing them to see things differently. Alright? Okay. Next, I'm going to be pulling some oracle guidance from the Oracle of Visions deck. And this is going to be advice from the 3D point of view. Okay, this is going to be advice from the mental point of view. And then I'm going to pull oracle guidance from the Crystal Mandala deck from the spiritual or 5D point of view. Okay? So this is advice for both counterparts, both masculine and feminine, from a physical point of view. All right? Here we go. Woo! Woo! No. No. This is one. Okay, I'm going to take these. We've got 4 cards here, all right? Wow. Okay, the first card we got is card 19. And to me, this is the divine feminine sitting back and, number one, waiting for her manifestations to come in, but contemplating. And the monkey on the string is telling me that the divine feminine for some time has known. There's a monkey on a string here. You see that? So for some time, the divine feminine has known that there is some aspect to her life, his or her life, her or his life, that has been holding her back. But she couldn't quite put her finger on it. There was a vice here. Look, we've got the apple and we've got the snake. That is depicting like the Garden of Eve situation, right? There has been a vice here. A temptation, we'll say a negative aspect, that's been holding her back, and she couldn't quite put her finger on it until this last full moon. Highlighted that shit like nobody's business. All right? And followed by that, we have the card number 18. A mother and their child. I mean, nurturing that child. So you're nurturing your inner child here. This illumination is bringing you back to your core wounds. Finding what that monkey on the string was is bringing you back to your core wounds. And for divine masculine, the fact that your divine feminine is going through this is bringing you back to greater, to not just your core wounds, because we've all been dealing with core wounds and childhood traumas. But now we're going on a deeper level. A level that we were maybe not even aware of, to a certain extent. Consciously, at least. So, this illumination that is symbolized by card number 19 is facilitating greater nurturance. And that makes perfect sense, especially from the divine feminine point of view. Because a lot of us, in moving away and literally walking away from our twin, we are fulfilling greater nurturance for ourselves. We were choosing ourselves over others in that moment. We were literally taking this baby and saying, I am choosing to nurture you now because you have been neglected for too long, quite honestly. Moving forward, we have card number 22. Now, to me, that is kind of a twin flame card because 11 plus 11 equals 22, right? So if we're looking at it from a 3D point of view, this situation that's going on right now is absolutely causing the divine masculine to look back and be like, damn, what am I losing? What am I giving up? What is walking away from me right now? Some of you have a look on your face that's not so pleasant. The look on this guy's face, to me, is a little sly and deceptive. And it says to me that part of him knows exactly what's leaving his life right now, but he is not going to go for it. Because he is too stuck in that devil energy. But it's not that he's stuck, even. He's choosing to stay there for whatever reason. And that is why some divine feminines are walking away and seeking out karmic relation. I'm not sorry. Well, all right. Yes, some are entering into karmic relationships because their fears are too strong. And that's why the divine masculine has this look on his face. He's looking at her through this image, through this movie or whatever, through this film, and he's saying, on an energetic level at least, he's saying, you have got too many fears that are blocking you, and I can't approach you like this. And so because of that, divine feminines, you are walking away and you're entering into karmic relationships that are going to teach you about these fears so you can clear them away once and for all. Also, though, some divine feminines are walking away from their divine masculines and are entering, or at least seeking out, soulmate relationships because the divine masculine is too caught in the devil energy or is too caught in his own fears and won't approach you. So fine. Bye, Felicia. But you know what I mean, right? Okay. Finally, we have card number 35. And card number 35. And this card to me is what I feel and what I hear when I see that card, when I see this card, is the divine feminine sitting there just waiting for a message to come in. Just waiting. Perched up in her space, being like, hey, I'm here. I'm waiting. Some of you are choosing to stay there because you're choosing to wait, and that's perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're choosing to wait because you see the situation from a higher perspective. You see the situation from a higher perspective. So you're just kind of chilling out, being like, I know what's going on. It's okay. To me, this is a symbol of faith in a way. Now, looks like she's kind of asleep. I don't know if she's necessarily asleep in this situation, because we're all kind of awakened here. Mm-hmm. But the bubbles, to me, are symbolizing, like, dreaming. So, like, Divine Feminine, you're, like, up there, just kind of sitting from your perch, seeing things from a higher perspective, and allowing your true desires to create little dream bubbles. And you're just kind of enjoying those, allowing those to manifest what you want. Yeah. Okay. Finally, I want to pull some oracle guidance from the Crystal Mandala deck, and this is going to be 5D guidance, all right? For both twins. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please excuse the pauses. I'm communicating and trying to, nail things down before I move forward. So that's why I go quiet for a second. All right. So let's get some 5D guidance for both twins. Best guidance for the twins right now. In moving through this energy. Facing our fears. How that's affecting the divine masculine. Wow, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Woo! All right, we're going to do two more shuffles. Okay. Oh boy. I don't know how that was situated. It's fine. Let's just leave it like that. Okay. Here we go. Woo! There's one. Purification. And there's, no, that's too many. We've got one so far. Purification. So this moment is definitely helping purify us. Absolutely. Especially divine... Here we go. Here's the second. Divine feminine. Wow. Authentic voice. Woo! So when it comes to purification, and that's a card number 14, which boils down to a 5. And 5 is about challenges. 5 is about change. Purification, and you see that purple color in there. I mean, this is spiritual purification. This is spiritual energy coming through and cleansing away the things that are blocking us. Divine masculine as well. I mean, we're being cleansed in this moment. This is a purging process. This is part of the purging process. This is part of the purging system. So no matter what energy you may be facing right now, or no matter what fears or anything that you may be facing right now, understand that you're facing them. I said this in the beginning of the reading, and I'll say it again. You're facing them so that you can clear them, so that you can purify. Okay? And finally, we have authentic voice. So this purification is allowing more of your authentic voice to come about, to come forward, to come to the surface. And think about it, divine feminine, that makes perfect sense. And you clearing away the people and relationships that do not serve you, more of your authenticity is shown. Right? This purification process is leading you to greater authenticity, which is leading you towards union, which is leading you towards wholeness in yourself. And ain't that a beautiful thing? I sure as shit think so. Yes? All right, guys. So there it is. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like a personal reading with me, you can email me. If you have a quick question, you can hit me up on Instant Go. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. All of those links are down in the description box below. I love you. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak with you soon. Bye, guys.